For nearly 2 decades, one man has eluded the grasp of law enforcement while orchestrating what may be the greatest financial heist in history. This is the story of Jho Low, a master manipulator whose lavish lifestyle, intercontinental scams, and ties with corrupt officials have forever changed the narrative of international corruption. Born into a well-off Chinese-Malaysian family in Georgetown, Penang, Low's early life was shaped by a legacy of business and survival. His grandfather, escaping the perils of war and economic ruin, built a modest fortune that set the stage for future ambitions. Yet, it was Low's insatiable hunger for wealth and power that propelled him onto a path of international finance and political intrigue. After graduating from prestigious institutions like the International School of Penang and Harrow School in London, Jho Low immersed himself in elite circles. While his classmates counted their wealth in millions, he dreamed in billions. By founding hidden front companies and strategically moving funds offshore into places like the British Virgin Islands, he laid the groundwork for a future steeped in financial deception and high-stakes fraud. Jho Low's audacious plans came to life with the infamous 1MDB scandal. It's documented that he funneled over $1 billion directly from 1MDB, with hundreds of millions routed through shell companies and landing in private bank accounts in Singapore, nicknamed the Switzerland of the East for its discreet financial system. Living a double life, Low transformed himself into a bona fide Hollywood socialite. He spent his ill-gotten billions on extravagant parties, renting private jets, and even establishing a firm, the Strategic Group, to orchestrate star-studded events. Celebrities like Kim Kardashian, Paris Hilton, and Megan Fox were reportedly paid for mere appearances, with fees ranging from modest sums up to hundreds of thousands of dollars, all for the sake of clout. One of his most notorious celebrations was the double countdown of 2013. In a display of unrivaled excess, Low chartered 2 jumbo jets to welcome the new year in both Sydney and Las Vegas, proving that when you have billions, even time can be bought twice. Yet beneath the glitz and glamour, the 1MDB scandal was unraveling. Accusations of money laundering, international fraud, and deep-rooted corruption began to surface. Malaysian Prime Minister Najib Razak reshuffled his cabinet amidst growing public outrage and leaked documents that painted a sordid picture of misappropriation and bribery. Investigations revealed that the funds allegedly funneled into Najib's accounts were not stolen from 1MDB at all, but were mysteriously labeled as a donation from Saudi royalty. Meanwhile, whistleblowers and journalists like Rue Castle-Brown faced dire repercussions for exposing the inner workings of this sprawling conspiracy. As allegations grew, international authorities joined the fray. U.S. Attorney General Loretta Lynch announced historic kleptocracy enforcement actions, marking the largest seizure of illicit funds, a staggering $1 billion, in U.S. history. The Department of Justice indicted key figures, naming Low, prominent bankers, and several Saudi officials. Prominent bankers and associates, including a managing director from Goldman Sachs, were forced to forfeit millions, while insiders like Tim Leisner turned state witness, paving the way for trials that exposed further layers of the scandal. Despite these actions, Low's reach extended further. Accusations emerged of his involvement in global political campaign financing, from influencing Barack Obama's 2012 campaign to stirring controversies in Senate races, underscoring his almost limitless ambition. Eventually, the mounting evidence of corruption led to monumental political shifts. Najib was voted out and subsequently charged with abuse of power and money laundering, while charges spread internationally. Yet, even with mounting indictments and widespread outrage, Jho Low remained elusive, last spotted enjoying leisure in Macau and even at Disneyland Shanghai on Christmas Eve, protected, perhaps, by powerful allies. In reflecting on this saga, one cannot help but question the role of money in modern society. Is corruption just an inevitable byproduct of wealth, or can ethics prevail in the face of overwhelming power? In Jho Low's case, the boundaries between ambition and criminality blurred, leaving behind a chilling narrative of greed, manipulation, and a system that, with its complex web of high finance and political complicity, appears almost designed to let the richest perpetrators walk free. Is morality just another game when money is in play? This is not just the story of one man's rise and fall, it is an investigation into how money, power, and corruption intertwine on a global scale. The case of Jho Low and the 1MDB scandal reminds us that when billions of dollars are at stake, the price of truth and accountability can be astronomically high. The billion-dollar heist, unmasking corruption. Subscribe for more investigative documentaries.